You are now listening to the Hot
Yeah, I thought it was a
Take
good year for
Hotbox.
boxing, specifically women's boxing. They had a great year. Going forward, they're going to have an even better year. Hopefully, we get Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano too. That'd be awesome. I guess I'll start. I'll just start with my fighter of the year. I think my fighter of the year is going to be Naya Inoue, going from undisputed at 118 to then moving up to 122 and becoming undisputed there. I think he's going to settle in here at 122, but this guy's scary. They call him the monster for a reason. He's probably the best. He just fought Marlon Tapalos. He just ended the year with the fight. He ended the year of boxing, I should say, of 2023 with an absolute nasty straight right that he just kept landing. So quick, so powerful to Marlon Tapalos, who was hanging around. He did pretty well. I mean, listen, I know he's going to run into some trouble or run into some guys that are here. But, man, what he did to Stephen Fulton was just, laughable. I mean, he just did whatever he wanted. Stephen Fulton's damn good and naturally bigger than Naya Inoue, too. So Naya Inoue, I think, could be – this guy has, serious GOAT potential. But, obviously not – fighting in front of many on many television sets in the U.S. That's going to change going forward for sure. And if we get a matchup with him and Jesse Bam Rodriguez at 122 in the future, that's going to be something to watch. But I think he's my fighter of the year. Terrence Crawford, he only fought once, but he fought Errol Spence and he just beat the fucking brakes off of him. So I guess he has to be considered. Devin Haney, in my opinion, should be the runner-up. He beat a Hall of Famer in Vasily Lomachenko, moved up to 140, pitched an absolute shutout against Regis Prograis. So good things are in the future for him. I'm going to go with, breakout fighter. I'm going to go with David Benavidez. David Benavidez is on the map, and I think he's got Canelo in his sights, and I think he might be able to beat Canelo. So I think David Benavidez is the breakout fighter here. Tim Tszyu is also in consideration. He's a beast. What else I think? I'm probably only else going to go prospect of the year, and then I'll go with fight of the year after I'm going to get you to chime in a little bit. Prospect of the year, I'm going to go Bruce Shoo Carrington. I've been talking about him for a little bit now, if you can remember the nickname. He's from Brooklyn, 26 years old. He went 5-0 on the year, 3 knockouts. He's got great size, 5'8" at 126. Got elite boxing, killer instinct, good mix of talent. He fights under Top Rank, and I think he's ready for the top guys. I think he will get a title shot before this 2024 year is up. Also, Olympian Andy Cruz, he won a couple gold medals. I think he beat Shakur Stevenson, if I remember correctly. He was a Cuban amateur. I think he's 28, 29 now, so he's just turned pro, and, man, he's awesome. He's really good to watch. He doesn't have that many fights in history. I think he's only 2-0, but what he did as an amateur was very impressive. And also Floyd Schofield, another just dangerous guy to watch. Those are my prospects of the year. Do you have anybody for fighter or breakout, or what caught your eye?
I would say fighter of the year. I think the number one thing that caught my eye overall was just the beatdown that Terrence Crawford gave to Errol Spence. That was the big fight, because obviously I'm not a hardcore, so the ones as a casual that kind of caught my eye, that was the thing where we watched that whole fight, and I was I had Errol Spence. I was God damn, he is beating the shit out of him. And it wasn't back and forth. No, dude, he was beating the shit out of him, and it wasn't a close fight whatsoever. So I think you got to give it to him. Naya Inoue as well, though, was he was that Stephen Fulton fight. I remember there was a lot of talk around that, and that was he was arguably the best. I think seeing articles that ESPN had him at number 1 at 122 at one point, and he was on trying to get pound for pound recognition, and he goes out and beats the brakes off him every second of that fight. He dominates him. So
I was very sad. I'm a big Stephen Fulton guy.
Yeah, he's a Philly guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's that's why I was involved in that one, because I was rooting for him, and I was wow, this is not even close. But I guess I would say Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. Those, like you said, those are always going to be the 2 women's fighters that always catch my eye or get me interested. So you'd want to see that in the near future. But another one that I also this is strictly from the casual standpoint, but was Gervonta Davis this year? Was that against Ronnie Garcia?
One? Yeah, that was a show.
All right, that's why it feels like it was so long ago, so I never know. But that was a big moment for me.
He fought twice this year. Remember, he fought Hector Garcia after he fought Rolly. Yes. Knocked Hector Garcia out. That is not Gervonta Davis anymore. He's also known as Abdul Wahid.
What?
Yeah, he is a converted Islam now. He is converted to Islam, I should say.
Well, Abdul Wahid.
Listen, you beat up your girlfriend and then convert, change religions. I guess that's the whole thing for Gervonta Davis. But no, all jokes aside, that is not a joke because that is all serious. He had a good year, but he also had a bad year. He had an up and down year, but I think now is the time to capitalize. Fight Devin Haney, fight Shakur Stevens, fight somebody. Stop tweeting, stop calling people out, stop asking for 70%. Come on, just he has not fought really anybody. Some of the guys he fought were kind of passive. Santa Cruz, Gamboa, Barrios was a good fight, but he almost he was pretty good. Isak Cruz took him the distance, and Ryan Garcia is not on his level. So time for him to step up, fight the pound for pound best, and we can see what he's got. I mean, I like his chances against anybody, but I also think he's going to give away rounds and lose rounds to pretty much anybody. So it'll be interesting. Interesting.
The true knockout or bust kind of guy. So
he could have knockout of the year, I guess, if you wanted to consider him. But I have a couple, or I guess fight of the year.
Good.
Actually, knockout of the year, real quick. Junto Nakatani against Andrew Maloney. I don't know if you remember that one. Overhand left that sent that motherfucker out cold.
Hey, man.
Bad.
Anytime a guy almost gets knocked out of the ring, it's, that's
always fun. There was a couple of those. I don't know if you remember Brian Mendoza knocks out Sebastian Fundora as the commentator yells, "Timber!" which is crazy because he's 6'6" welterweight, which is wild. And he went down. He didn't get back up either. David Morrell, my boy, at 168, he knocked out a fellow named Yamauchi Falcao on short notice, put him out bad. He almost he had to step over him because he knocked his corpse out in front of him. It was wild. Mark Magsayo, Isaac Avilar. Look that one up. Mark Magsayo he had him sleeping under the ropes. He was tucked in under the ropes.
Oh.
He wasn't out of the ring, but he was
he's
on
still in the ring.
Corner. And he was sleeping. He looked like he was comfy, very comfy. A fellow named Ellis Zorro had one of the best over a guy named Hosea Burton, but then he got by Jai Opataya on Day of Reckoning card. He put out bad. He got put up against the ropes. He was sitting upright I'm just here chilling. I'm hanging out. I'm chilling. But he was out. So those are my KOs. Fight of the year, I guess I'll go with Jaime Munguia, Sergey Derevyanchenko. It was on DAZN. It was a brawl. Just started early, and there was just all these ebbs and flows and back and forth. Munguia was hurt in the 5th, and he landed a big shot. Then he had to drop him in the 12th round to win that fight. So that was crazy. Also on DAZN. DAZN had a pretty good year. I know I make jokes about them because sometimes their audio just doesn't work for whatever reason. But Luis Neri fought a guy named Azat Hovhannisyan, and that fight was crazy. Look that up whenever you can. That fight wasted no time turning into a dogfight. Round 4, Luis Neri rocks him with a just awesome uppercut after he got hurt, and then he rocks him in the 5th, and then he gets rocked back in the 5th. 9th, 10th round starts, and then Neri's getting rocked to the body, and he turns up in round 10, and then the 11th round starts, and the ref stepped in. Very good, very great job by the ref because that guy was going to take some damage for sure. And that was an amazing fight. Joe Cordina fought Shavkat Rakhimov, not to be confused with Shavkat Rachmanov. They fought on DAZN, also on DAZN. That fight was crazy. Mauricio Lara, Lee Wood, that was also on DAZN. So DAZN had some of the best fights of the year. If you have any time, watch some of those fights. They were fucking awesome.
I got one that was that I thought of that I was very entertained by, and I thought the judges were wrong, but it was still a good fight. Devin Haney and Lomachenko. Lomachenko always gets me to the TV. So does Devin Haney. So that was a pretty good fight. So
a lot of people I saw had that as fight of the year just because of how great they both
everything
are.
Around it. Yeah.
A lot of people also I saw had Lomachenko. I think it could have went either way. Honestly, I think it could have went either way. So I'm not really mad at it. But I did have Devin Haney edging him out 7-5. Great fight though. Great.
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.